I have a special guest with us today. You know, you think of Pasadena Humane Society for so many different things, but a lot of you out there know of us for our animal control services that we provide to 11 cities in the San Gabriel Valley. Well, with me today is the head of our animal control division at the Pasadena Humane Society. We have Lieutenant Memo Arteaga. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's my pleasure to be here.
I am so excited to be talking about this topic today because it's such a core of the work that we do. First of all, you have been with us for a very long time. Tell us a little bit about you. What do you do there at the Humane Society, and how long have you been there?
Well, this year marked my 21st anniversary of working
21st anniversary, amazing, and
Yes.
you've done great work.
Yes, thank you. And I am currently the Director of Animal Control Services. I started off as an animal control officer and worked my way up. It's no other job in the world like it.
And I know you and I have talked a bunch about the passion that you have for both the animals and the people in the work that you do. So What does it mean to be an animal control officer, or more importantly, the head of animal control? What type of things do you do? Is there a typical day?
Well, there is no typical day, although we do a lot of, a lot of what we do is routine. There is no typical day, but the majority of what we do is rescue animals, educate the public, and some enforcement as well as regarding laws that relate to animals and animal control.
So we do animal control services under contract with the different cities that we support. Can you quickly roll off those cities? Let's see if you get them right.
It's Pasadena, it's South Pasadena, it's San Marino, it's Arcadia, it's Sierra Madre, La Cañada, Glendale, Monrovia, Bradbury, La Crescenta, Altadena, and the unincorporated area of actually Pasadena as well.
Awesome. I didn't count, but I'm assuming you got them all right. It equals 11 different cities. Now, one of the things that's really interesting for me is that they all have different laws and different rules and different licensing. How do you manage that when you have 11 different places with 11 different things that you have to enforce?
Well, it can be a little bit of a challenge, but when you're committed to this line of work, you can overcome any challenges. And you are correct. Every city has their own ordinances, and every ordinance reads a little bit different from the others. Although there are some similarities, there are very large differences as well. So obviously with the proper training and experience, the officers are able to define what applies in one city and what does not in another city based on the way the ordinance is written.
So since we're talking about ordinances, what are the types of things that you're enforcing? I know there's barking dogs. What else?
Well, we enforce anything that, any ordinance or state law that pertains to animals, anything from the licensing requirements, pet licensing requirements, to leash law violations, to neglect and abuse.
So I'm glad that you just brought up abuse, because animal cruelty prevention and enforcement is a big part of the work that you do, and it's a lot of the heart that we do.
Yes.
So kind of share with us a little bit about that side of the work and what we would do if we got a case of animal cruelty reported to us.
Well, obviously we investigate the allegations, and we determine obviously not only whether there is a violation of the law, but also the source. We find that a lot of the violations that we see out there are not necessarily malice, it's a lack of knowledge. So we are very big in educating the public on the laws regarding animals and the welfare. But we also obviously enforce the laws as needed. But our goal is to find out what caused the problem and find a solution and provide the responsible party with the tools and the knowledge that they need to correct it.
So you also mentioned that you do a lot of rescues, because there's a lot of stray animals out there in the community, or lost animals. And can you share a quick story about an animal that sticks with you, that if it wasn't for that animal control officer, or even you yourself, that animal wouldn't be here today?
Well, in the 21 years that I've been here, I can name quite a few. But we rescue all animals from all types of situations. Simple calls like we get calls for kittens stuck in the engine compartment of a vehicle. I can think of one that we received not long ago where the person called and said, I think there's a kitten under my vehicle. Can I just drive off? Well, no. We'll send an officer out there. He says, well, but I think I can get out. Well, let's you know, give us a few minutes, we'll send an officer out there. And we did send an officer out there, and the kitten wasn't stuck. It just happens that it was just scared to come out.
Right.
So once we popped the hood open, and the officer actually used the squirt bottle, you know, water just to squirt it and just get the kitten to run out. And that's so. But you know, anything from that to animals that fell, you know, in a ditch or something. I mean, we any animal that needs to be rescued, and obviously we'll do what we can to provide that assistance to it.
So, you know, sometimes people call our animal control officers dog catchers. And what would you say to them? Because I know I have a response, but I'm curious of what your response would be if someone called you the dog catcher.
Well, it is a term that we often hear, but you know, our job is a lot more than capturing animals or catching animals. You know, again, our goal is to rescue animals. We rescue animals from dangerous situations, whether it be an animal that's running in the street in the middle of traffic.
That could get hit by a car.
Yes, to an animal that, you know, is in distress in somebody's backyard because the owners left the house and left the dog unattended. Now it's stuck, you know, between some bushes, and you know, it literally wedged in there. It can't get out. So, you know, we do a whole lot more than just capture animals. You know, a lot of what we do is rescue animals.
Yeah, you know, I think the movies have actually made it look like a weird profession, but I'd like to say that you and your guys are professional animal welfare people keeping our streets safe every day. And you do a lot of work to really keep the community safe, but to also keep animals safe and to strengthen that relationship between people and pets. Last thing is, if somebody has an animal control emergency or an issue or a need in the communities that we serve, what should they do?
Well, you can call the Pasadena Humane Society, and the number is area code 626-792-7151. And we will send an officer out there as quickly as possible to provide all the assistance that is needed.
Well, I thank you so much for everything that you and all of the officers do to help animals and people in the community. And I look forward to you spending another 21 years at the Pasadena Humane Society and working on behalf of animals.
I thank you for the opportunity to be here. It was my pleasure.
Thank you.